Okay, let's take a look at the adjustments and retouching actions. I'm going to go into the adjustments folder here, drop it down, and you can use these for any type of photo, but this one we're going to do with a portrait photo. So let's take a look at shadows and highlights and hit play on that and go continue. And this one gives you control of your shadows and highlights and a few color corrections, mid-tone contrast, and all that good stuff. So if you hit OK, it completes the action and builds you a layer right here. Here you can see the difference. There's before, there's after. If that's not quite the effect you're looking for, you can always drop it down and find the range again through the opacity that works for you. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that one, and let's go through a few more. So there's color luminosity, gives you control of all the colors and how bright they are. Then there's HDR toning, you can get some cool effects through that. And your basics, some of the exposure, contrast, and sharpen. I'll show you the sharpen one very quickly. And we're going to go continue. And this you can actually find the edge of the image. And I'm going to go a little bit more than usual here just to show you for demo purposes. And let's show you the before. There's the before and there's after. You can see it really sharpened up the eyes. Now a lot of people don't want it to sharpen overall the whole image. So what you can do with these, you can click on the layer mask. So once it's clicked, you can hit Command I, and that's going to invert it. So black conceals, and now you no longer see that effect on the image. So I'll even block that out. You don't see it, and you don't see any change. So once you're clicked onto the layer mask, you can go over to your brush, and if you have white selected, you can reveal that effect. So I have it at 100% opacity right now, just so you guys can see it. And you're going to see the eyes get a lot sharpened, or a lot more sharpened. And you can see the two dots there for the eyes. And again, this effect is very extreme. And there's the before and there's the after. But let's say you do that and you want to drop it down, you can actually find what works for you, where you want to sharpen, so you can get specific with this. So that's a cool thing. I'm going to go ahead and delete that. And dodging and burning, I like this one too, because you can really sculpt your image and sort of give it that depth. And again, you can drop it down or be specific where you want that effect to take place. And that's again by selecting your layer mask and inverting it, Command I, and then black conceals, white reveals. Okay. And delete that. And noise reduction, very important, very useful. Intensify, vibrance, and filters for warming and cooling. Okay, let's take a look at the frequency separation action. And if we go up to the retouching folder right there and we drop that down, you're going to see right at the top there's frequency separation. So if we go play on that, it's going to say set Gaussian blur until texture is no longer visible. So hit continue, and then we're going to minus this out because we can see the whole picture then. And we're going to increase that till you don't see any more texture. Hit OK. There we go, and it's different for each image. Now we have two different layers, and it automatically selects the blend layer here. So we just go to our next step, which is selecting the lasso tool and going up to feather, and I'm going to use 20 pixels. You can play with this here and find out what works with you, and that's just essentially blending or feathering when you draw your area where it's going to make that adjustment. So let's just go down here. I can see a little bit of, there's makeup or something there that I'm just going to, I made the circle really big. And now we go up to filter, blur, Gaussian blur. And when I adjust this, you should be able to see, oh, that's too much. Drop that down a bit. And hit OK. And I'm going to put these all together so I can show you before and after, but I'm just going to complete these here. And if we go on to this area here, I see a bit of magenta and a bit of yellowish. So we're going to blend those colors. Again, going to filter, blur, Gaussian blur. And you can see it's already done some changes. Now I'm going a bit extreme on this, and it's giving that CGI look a bit, but that's for the demo purposes, so you guys can see this. Because if I go before and after, you don't see anything, it's going to look bad. So I can hit OK. And now I'm going to do a little bit under the eye here, because you can see there's just a little spot there. So let's go filter, blur, Gaussian blur. And it essentially makes that go away. So I'm going to hit OK. And let's do a little bit more just for fun. So filter, blur, Gaussian blur, hit OK. So as long as you're on the blend layer, you can just keep doing this all day and fine tune your photo. So now I'm going to hit Command D, and that's going to deselect the marching ants. And what I'm going to do is go over here and hit Alt Shift, open bracket, and Command G, and that's going to group it all together just so I can show you the before and after. So there's the before and there's the after. So you can see it's really smoothed out here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more, and there you go. Before, after. So it really smoothed it out, and that's where you can play with the Gaussian blur to change that and find what works for you. And if you get lost in the process and you're kind of like, okay, what's the next step? You can always go to the frequency separation how, and you hit the play, and it'll tell you what to do. So after you've hit the frequency separation action, you can hit this action and then find out what the next step is. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed the quick tutorial on adjustments and retouching.